Guys, I forgot what scene it is. We're live right now. Everyone can hear us. I forgot what scene it is. I'm about to pick the wrong one, guys. I'm about to pick the wrong one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We're going to pick one and we're going to hope it's right. All right, here we go. All right. Nope, it was the wrong one. It was the wrong one. Fuck! It was the wrong one! Oh. God damn it! God damn it!
400 episodes.
I guess we'll talk before we start the episode, I guess. Hello, sure. Everyone. How are you all? Welcome to episode 400 of My Xbox and Me. We'll do a proper episode introduction and stuff in a second. We're just going to hang out. We're going to do the podcast, and then we're going to play some Halo, and then we might play some Fortnite. And we don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you. I didn't lie. I said there was no surprises. So if you come in thinking there was a surprise, your own fault. Yeah. Bro, did you see Twitter? Oh, we'll get into it. Let's get into it. Let me get into it. All right, let's do the intro. You ready?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 400. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only, for the first time on episode 400, our very special guest, Crash. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is the first time in my life I've been a special guest. This is different. I'm so humble right now.
And not only him as a special guest, we have the one, the only, Mr. Matt P. Video. Matt, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
An absolute pleasure. You know, I'm a busy man, and just thought I'd come on this little Xbox podcast with a guy called MC Fixer.
That is not it. Of course, we have our third and final guest of the day for episode 400 of My Xbox and Me. It is the GTA roleplay legend himself, the music phenomenon, the man, the myth, the legend, MC Fixer. I know. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here on episode 400. I know you guys were expecting a real big guest, and I'm here. You're welcome.
Wow.
You know, I was really close to booing you, but then I was like, that's just too mean right now.
Look,
just too mean.
This is episode 400. Look, I said there was no guest this time. I know I've done some big things at the 100 marks. We've had AC Bongos. We've had Ryan McCaffrey. We've had Greg Miller. We've had Tim Gettys. But none of them are me. So I'm here, all right? This week, You have me, all right? I'm here, special finally. I'm the special guest of this podcast. You're right. No, honestly, I've said this before, I'll say it again. My life is so sporadic right now. I think we all felt it this morning. The clocks have gone back this week. Crash come in with a towel around his neck and thought we didn't notice, but we did. And I feel like we're all feeling it, but we are here. This is My Xbox and Me. It is episode 400, and yeah, man. If you're not watching us live right now, you have missed out on a live episode, and that's your fault. So
that's the surprise, is that this episode's live.
The surprise is that we're actually here, live in the flesh. It could all go wrong. We could get cancelled today. That's the surprise.
That could happen.
It could happen. If you didn't know, My Xbox and Me is a weekly Xbox podcast. It's so weekly, it's been happening for 400 weeks. Madness.
Wow.
You can head over to patreon.com/MCFixer to get the show early and support it financially. If you want to be a real babe and you want to help the boys out. Yeah? You go over to that little podcast service of choice. I don't care. Spotify, Apple Music. Give us a little 5-star rating. Drop us a nice little review. And yeah, it helps us a lot more than you think. It really does. Boys, we got a topic of the show, but before we get into that, I've got a few things I have to say. Obviously, episode 400. Anytime you hit 100 milestone, I feel like it is a big deal. It is a big deal. It's been a long time. 400 weeks, never missed a week. Never. We've been in Texas and we've had no internet. You guys still got an episode out. I almost died. I was in hospital. Still got an episode out. It don't matter what happens in our lives. This podcast keeps on going. I always get a little bit. I need to give a shout out to one person in particular. Shout out to Ross Miller. Some of you will know who he is. Some of you will not have a bloody clue who he is. The co-founder of My Xbox and Me. Back in the day, Jesus. Now I think back 400 weeks ago, I remember sitting in Haley's aunt's bedroom. I was sat in a little tiny corner. You can go back and look at this episode. It's actually on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfixer. And I remember being like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this podcast thing and I'm going to work for IGN one day. And here I am, still in the bedroom, podcasting. We can't hear you, Crush. We can't hear you.
The corner's a little bigger.
The corner's a little bigger. Now, all jokes aside, this has been a long time coming. It's been it's doing the podcast for you guys every week is fantastic. I love doing it. It fits into our life where we can fit it. Very much so. And one day I hope that it can become the staple of our life. But until then, we keep it going. We keep it going until then, you know?
Yeah. And of course, 408, that will be 8 years that you've been doing it, Fix. Which puts it a little bit more in perspective.
I don't like it when you say it like that.
Wild.
Fix wanted that perspective.
I don't want that perspective.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I take it back.
8 years.
8 years. In 8 episodes' time, there'll be 8 years.
And that's where the special guest will be.
Ooh, well.
It makes sense.
400 means nothing.
Now, if at 408 there is no special guest, you guys should all be surprised that there is none.
Can I bring... I will work my darn hardest at episode 408 to get somebody on this podcast with us who is more important than me. And there ain't that many people out there. So
I was gonna say that's a tall order to face.
Haley?
I mean, Haley might be on, maybe.
Oh,
maybe
I get
just
that Disney
maybe.
Dreamlight Valley.
I was gonna say that Dreamlight Valley review's coming.
I've only been waiting.
She's still working on it. She's still working on it, guys. She's still
I
working
respect
on
it.
it.
You know, like every time she gets close to finishing it, they drop a new update, and then oh man, we have to reset now. You know,
she if she's nothing, she's thorough. She's thorough with her game reviews. Okay, she's thorough with her game reviews. All right. Topic of the show really this week though is Microsoft killed the PlayStation version of Redfall for Xbox exclusivity. Guys, is Phil Spencer a big phony liar? Is he a big phony liar when he told the PlayStation players that he would never, ever, ever take away anything from them?
Well, I don't think he ever said that, did he? I think whenever we talk about these conversations,
I quoted that perfectly. That was a perfect quote. That was quote.
It. And that's why Phil Spencer will not be on episode 408 of my yeah, like I think they've always been super careful with their wording, and the thing is, they keep reiterating, and they reiterated after this article came out as well, is that they're not taking anything away from PlayStation players that they've already had. We're not going to go back and take, you know, what was the other ZeniMax game they put out just before Redfall?
Oh,
help me out. Deathloop, thank you.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Exactly. When they made the purchase of ZeniMax, they didn't then go take Deathloop and Ghostwire off the PlayStation stores, and so that's always kind of the phrasing they've been having. And so there was an argument to be made, I guess, that Redfall was deep into development on PlayStation and then got taken away. But the public didn't know that.
They do now, motherfucker. They do now.
Yeah.
Crash?
Look, let me just say this. I support Xbox's decision not to put Redfall on PlayStation.
Agreed.
But like that dancing around, like what they said, what they didn't say, we all knew what he said, and what he said isn't true. That's the bottom of the line. You could say like, oh, he didn't really say that, but I don't care for corporate speak. What I heard isn't true. I wasn't speaking corporate lingo. I'm not in those offices. I'm not whoever's trying to evaluate this that'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? He's right in that fine detail, or whatever the case is. Like, that's not who Phil Spencer was trying to speak. That's not who Phil Spencer's been making a run for. Microsoft in general, they've been trying to get people involved. They've been trying to get people to rally for them.
Sure.
So Xbox are a big bunch of phony liars, is what you're saying.
No, yes, no. I don't care. Can I be 100% honest? I really don't care.
Well, that's not the attitude crush, you know. Jesus Christ, we tried to do a podcast here, 400 weeks. Come on, come on, Jesus. No,
I mean,
on
400 early.
you got to call a spade, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Phil Spencer. I love everything that they're doing. I think anyone with more than 2 brain cells knows that the corporate speak is getting a bit too much for me personally. The whole, we're not taking things away and we want to bring it to more players and all this crap. I get it, but it's a bunch of crap. Let's be honest. Like, we're not seeing Halo on PlayStation tomorrow, are we? And we all know it would sell gangbusters and do really well. So let's just stop right there. And I think this Redfall thing's actually really interesting because from a business perspective, damn straight, I'm taking it away. From a business perspective, why wouldn't I? It looks like it's going to be a relatively really good game from a studio we just spent how much money on? Yeah, we're going to keep that exclusive and try and bolster our roster. But for them to come out, and there was an update to this story, I'm not even bothering reading it because it's just business bullshit. It really is. And I'm at that point now with Xbox where I'm like, I'm sick of hearing this businessy stuff. I'm sick of hearing how you're the good guys. I'm sick of hearing how things are going to be and what they want to do, and let's just do it. You know?
Mm.
And this whole new narrative of like bringing games to everyone is like, it's bringing games to everyone so it benefits you. That's not. You know.
It's also
go on.
Bringing games to everyone for 10 years. And beyond 10 years, who knows what'll happen? It's Wild West after that.
Yeah.
I mean, the market and speak will change by then, Crash. Come on, we both know that.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's slightly different in a sense that Call of Duty is an established franchise, whereas Redfall is a brand new thing. And so that I think that does make a difference to the potential future of Call of Duty. But the fact that they've offered them a 10-year deal, Xbox have offered Sony a 10-year deal to have Call of Duty for 10 years, and they clearly haven't taken it, or they're not gonna take it.
I wouldn't take it either.
Well, okay, so can we be honest about the 10-year deal? It's like, okay, we're gonna spend how much was it, like 70 billion? How much was the
69 billion in cash?
We're gonna spend 69 billion for the 10 years. We're gonna continue putting Call of Duty out on our biggest earner, PlayStation.
Yep.
And then after the 10 years deal, once we've recuperated a good amount of money, we're gonna stop putting it out on that.
Yes.
Well, if you were PlayStation, would you take that?
No.
Yeah, sure. I think like if you look 10 years previous to this, right? Go back to like 2012. Like what Call of Duty was and the landscape of gaming was so incredibly different. Like, it's so difficult to look 10 years into the future and go, oh yeah, Call of Duty is still. Do you not think? Like it's you
10
think
years
it's
ago,
perfectly...
Call of Duty wasn't one of the biggest games. 10 years later, Call of Duty continues to be one of the biggest games with little to no competition.
Sure, but it is a very different game.
Sure, but that works against what you're saying, because that just proves the staying power of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
if any other game tried to evolve and adjust the way Call of Duty did, it wouldn't have succeeded.
Pizza bat
succeeded because it had Call of Duty attached to it.
Pizza bat. Will Call of Duty still be big in 10 years' time?
What would that be? That would be episode...
Oh, don't. I can't do math.
Episode...
like 1300?
Maybe another 408 for another 8 years.
It'd be like 10,000. It'd be like episode 10,000. Something like that.
About.
Sorry, 10,000. What am I about? Episode 1,000.
Yeah, I was about to say 1,000.
Jesus Christ.
10,000.
Yeah, episode 1,000. Will Call of Duty still be around in episode 1,000? Pizza bet.
Yes.
You'd be stupid to take that pizza bet.
Will my Xbox and me still be around in episode 1,000?
That's a good pizza bet.
That's a pizza bet.
Will my Xbox and me still be around in 10 years' time? Probably not. No.
Did you get to 1,000 episodes?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
But like, if you got to 800, right? If you did this run again and got to 800, then do you not want to just be like, fuck, let's end it on 1,000? Let's just get there. You know?
No. I just don't see it. Maybe. I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't happen, I guess. It solely comes down to, do I want to keep doing it? Really?
Oh.
I will tell you, this is the longest, other than my fiance, this is the longest commitment I've ever had in my life.
Sure.
You know, and like, it's, do you still keep doing this in, I don't know.
Well, I mean, this perfectly circled back to what we were just chatting about. You know, like MC's Fixer decision to keep My Xbox and Me going for another 10 years is the same as Phil Spencer's decision to keep Call of Duty going for another 10 years or not.
No,
It's
no, it isn't. One makes billions upon billions of dollars, and the other one makes nothing, $0, zero. To bring it back to the Call of Duty talk, no, I generally feel like we need to, like, as much as I do think a lot of what Sony's done is wrong in the way they've handled the situation, I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
For their anger. And the more important thing, to go back to the topic of the show this week, is I don't blame PlayStation fans being annoyed at Phil Spencer for this. Because of the way they word things, leaves it too open for interpretation. Every single time they do it. I remember even when they did do you remember when we did the watch along for the Bethesda talk thing? I think it was me and Crash ended up watching it together. And like, we were celebrating, oh, it's going to be exclusive. And then you see games come out and they're not exclusive. And you see, it's like, it feels very wishy-washy when it comes to Xbox and what it is they're trying to achieve. With PlayStation, what it says is on the tin right now. To be honest, you buy a PlayStation, you know you're getting a good product, you know you're getting exclusive games, you know you're getting literally every game from every region.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. With Xbox right now, we know we're getting Game Pass.
I was about to say, yeah. That's the only thing like Xbox has for sure.
Game Pass.
In the short term and maybe even long term.
Streaming. I guess if you want to, like, I don't use it, but it's there. So, Game Pass and streaming. Yeah. That's something that those are the two things that Xbox can come out and be like, we have Game Pass and we have streaming. We ain't got no fucking games. We're still waiting on those. But, like, I'm just... I don't blame. I saw the In There Blaze when this came out, this article, and I was like, I do not blame people. I actually don't blame people for being fanboy over this one because of the way things are said. The way things are said makes it seem like we will not take anything away. If something was actively in development for the system in which you bought, and a company has come in and then gone, nope, we're taking that now, I can see why you're upset.
And also, like, this... The decision for Redfall lines up with Phil Spencer's statements around the time of the Bethesda buyout, where a lot of people were like, "Oh, Bethesda games will go multi-platform." They were looking at Cuphead, what's Minecraft, and a few other games that like went out under the Microsoft umbrella that ended up being multi-platform games. They were looking at that. And Microsoft was like, "No, we buy studios. We're going to make games exclusive." Lines up very much so with that, but that's also a very different tone from what Microsoft's been trying to tell people.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to reiterate, I'm 100% fine with Microsoft doing what they're doing.
Me too.
I'm 100% fine with both of these people doing what they're doing. They are billion to trillion dollar companies arguing over something that I do not care about at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and argue over who's more right in what situation when it's like, whoever's right with this, completely inconsequential and irrelevant to me at the end of the day.
Yeah. 100%. I feel bad.
Do you think there's any way in which Elder Scrolls or Fallout, when they come out with new games, they go to PlayStation? Because they're established franchises that have been multi-platform before.
No, I think if you're not going to give them Redfall, why the fudge are you giving them your bigger franchises?
Well, because there's more money to be made, as you say, and Redfall is a new IP, a new franchise that Xbox needs like the next Halo. It needs the next like
the
thing we own that is mainstream.
The knee-jerk reaction inside me says, at that point, just give up on consoles and just become a software company. Then, like, don't get me wrong, I speak from a position of privilege. I always say this: got a PC, got a PlayStation 5, got an Xbox, got a Switch, got a fucking Steam Deck. You know, like I can I can play games anywhere the fuck I want at any time I want. I understand that. But at that point, why the hell have I invested all this money into this company?
But I don't think. Well, I mean, there was definitely a small contingent of people who were saying this on the internet, but I don't think the vast majority of PlayStation players are saying, "Fucking Horizon's now on PC. Fucking why have I got a PS5?"
I think you're not in those circles. Well,
that's what I mean.
Now
there's
that
small...
now I don't think it's as small as you think it is. There's a large vocal group that I remember it. Yeah, I was in that vocal group when Xbox started doing it with PC games. I was fucking fuming. I was so angry.
It's always one of those things that's very difficult, because I even remember the Xbox days, and even with the PlayStation, when PlayStation started putting stuff out on PC, where it wasn't just Xbox fans or PlayStation fans getting mad around this time. It was Xbox fans pretending to be PlayStation fans, poking fun at it, and the same thing happened then. So you really don't even get like an accurate representation of that. But it definitely is people who do get mad about their games going multi-platform, and you're losing something. Even though I do think it's kind of...
Can I say, I think PlayStation do it better than Xbox do it when it comes to PC games to the consoles.
What, you'd rather Xbox do a year of exclusivity on Xbox consoles and then go to PC?
Brother, I have, at this moment in time, I understand we just spoke about the whole marketing. At this moment in time, my 8 years I've been doing this podcast, Lily, I have no reason anymore to play on my Xbox. My Xbox itself, the ecosystem of Xbox, I'm still very much in. But my Xbox Series X hasn't been turned on in God knows how long.
But you're in like a bit of a unique setup situation whereby your Xbox is always plugged in the same place as your PC.
Yes.
Like I have friends who have gaming PCs but play more on their Xbox because their Xbox is in their living room and they work from home, and the last thing they want to be doing is sat in front of their thing for the rest of the day, and then like, do you know what I mean? So like,
yes. No, you're right.
I get what you're saying.
My circumstances are very different to most people's, I would say.
Yeah.
Most people have their self an office that has a PC in it that they go in and play games on when they want, and then when they can't be bothered, they got an Xbox in the living room and they play it there. And that will end up being how mine is. Mine will end up probably being in the bedroom. But
sure.
Right now, that isn't what the situation is. You know?
I think you also have to look at the games Microsoft puts out. Like, the problem with doing what Sony does is, like, they generally work with Sony titles because Sony titles are big enough to, like, in a sense, have a re-release.
Yeah.
What if Xbox did that with Halo Infinite?
Yeah.
At that point, when it would have come out, like, people would have been flaming and like, oh, this isn't even worth getting on PC at this point.
True.
You know, and you can insert that for a lot of, unfortunately, Microsoft titles. We've been talking about them, like, they need to bring games. And, like, once they have games, what you're saying, I 100% like, that would be great for them. But until then, like, I think that conversation's not even like a non-starter.
Isn't it weird how we're at the point where I feel like we're at the point with Xbox where I'm fed up about talking about Xbox until they put out some games.
That's fair.
There's not a lot to talk about Xbox right now.
To be
fair,
fair,
talk about the new Game Pass games.
The exciting aside that came out from this Redfall story was that people play Redfall and overwhelmingly positive.
Overwhelmingly positive. Let me just say this. Hey, been doing this podcast for 8 years, Lily. How comes we don't get invited to preview events, huh? Bethesda, I'm looking at you. I know your community managers. Somebody clip this. Send it to them. 8 years I've been covering this damn platform. 8 years. Invite me to damn preview events. Sorry about that. Carry on.
That's all right. I was hearing stuff around the office from people who went to go see it, like Far Cry, but with vampires and shit like this. And I was like, ooh, you know what? That is interesting to me.
I've heard very much it's more Far Cry than it is Left 4 Dead, which excites me way more.
Yeah.
Like from the people I've spoken to, it really isn't anything like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Crash is not on board.
Well, I'll be 100% honest. I don't want a Far Cry.
No, it's not Far Cry. It's not Far Cry. Wait, you hate Far Cry? I still don't get it. I love Far Cry. I love Far Cry.
great memories of Far Cry 3, and then everything after that was just Far Cry. It wasn't really an evolution. It really wasn't really like a growth of the franchise, really.
I think I'm playing.
Like
I think I'm playing
aspects.
Far Cry this week, by the way. So come see me over on twitch.tv/Ubisoft #ad. But I agree with you, Matt. Like it seemed from the previews, which you can never tell with a preview. I've been to plenty of preview events. You can never tell. It seems like Xbox have got their hands on another good game, though. That means we'll have Hi-Fi Rush. That means we'll have Redfall, that are both solid titles. Minecraft Legends, we'll wait to see.
And you were saying you wanted 1 a quarter, and so far we're on track for this year.
Again, I feel like this conversation we're having right now will be irrelevant in a year's time. Because I feel like at the end of the year, we can look back and go, oh, Xbox came out with 4-5 titles, and they all hit. And then we go, okay, cool. Can we keep building on this? But as of right now, you've got to keep building on it. What? Why are you saying no?
At the end of the year, what's going to happen is this conversation is going to come up, and then we're going to say, like, yeah, but a lot of those games didn't hit the way they were supposed to. Like, Minecraft Legends is going to be a big game, and it's going to sell a lot, but, like, was Microsoft's name really attached to it? Because with Minecraft stuff, Microsoft's name tends to not really be attached with it.
No, it is.
Minecraft Dungeons.
It is. You have to log in. Yeah, you do. You have to log in with a Microsoft account to play it.
No.
Yes.
People don't talk about it in tandem with Microsoft. The only time people want to talk about it in tandem with Microsoft is when people want to say, like, look at the IPs that Microsoft has. They have Minecraft, and they released this Minecraft game. It's never like, oh, Minecraft, the Microsoft game.
Yeah,
Minecraft,
but isn't that a good thing though? Because it means that IP can stand by itself, and then Microsoft just benefit from it.
It is a good thing until people start saying that Microsoft needs more IPs and more titles to, like, sort of resonate with their resonate with their branding.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We can put a pin in this.
I hope I'm wrong about that, but we'll see.
We'll put a pin in there. Let's jump into what's been in your box this week, boys. Obviously, a big title drop this week that I know me and Matt have definitely played. But we'll start with you, Crash. What have you been playing?
I haven't played anything new this week. More Destiny, Smite, more Diablo again. The open beta is out now.
Are you level 20 yet? How long did it take?
I'm not level 20. I didn't get level 20 on a character. Last week I got up to level 17, and then this week I started a new character because they added 2 new classes, and I wanted to try other classes. It's still here for like another day, so I'll make it.
I saw the cat bag.
It's a baby wolf.
Same thing,
Not
mate.
cat.
Same thing. I saw a bag. I saw a bag with an animal inside it.
So an animal,
thing.
Cat.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I'll be honest.
I just took a leap there. I took a leap there.
Yeah.
I took a leap. I took a leap there. I saw the bag on Twitter. Someone tagged me in it. I can't remember who. And I was like, damn, I do kind of want that.
No, you don't.
But I do.
You don't.
But I do.
You don't.
But I do.
You do.
But I'm not going to.
No. There's no way. You'd have to stop the podcast right now and play non-stop until the beta ends.
I mean, I'm comfortable doing that, to be honest with you.
Let's do it.
Surprise! Surprise!
Halo, we can just do.
Yeah, it's not down. We looked at the download size. It was 100 gig. We both went, oof, no. We got it installed.
And guess what? It ain't on cloud streaming. But if it was, maybe we'd be playing it right now. So
maybe. All right. So, Matt, we'll start with your other stuff that you haven't played. That isn't Resident Evil 4. So, what have you been playing?
Sure. Well, I listened to the podcast last week. You lot take the piss at me as always. I always have to keep on top of it, you know.
Wait. So when you're on the podcast, you listen to the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, he does it every time. He literally comes back knowing more about the podcast
than we do.
I remember about recording it.
Yeah, which is why I'm about to bring up this as well.
Okay.
Crash, you were playing Valheim last week. Have you gone back to it at all this week?
No.
Because me and my friends fully addicted to Valheim. Not often a game comes along that every single night we are on playing, but that's what we've been doing this week. Fully addicted. Love it. We built a canal system. It's a whole thing. It's great. We are mainly playing it as like a build a pretty house simulator as opposed to Viking fighting bosses simulator. But we're having a fucking blast. I'm really enjoying it. So I've been playing that. But that's old game is old, so not many people are
New,
trusting that.
new
No.
to no.
That's a new game.
New game.
First of all,
Well,
it was in early access beforehand.
Mhm.
It's finally out. If
Mhm.
that's an old game, then when Hades came out, that would have been considered an old game
Yep.
as well.
well, I mean, it's still game preview, Xbox game
Is it still
preview.
game preview.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, it's new to Xbox. You know, I'm
new
on
to
top of that.
Xbox,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
New to Xbox. Yeah, man. New to
You know?
Xbox.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also a good point. How can old game be old if old game isn't even technically out?
Yeah.
It can't be old then, can it? So, but yeah, I would feel relatively confident, I guess, in assuming this would end up in my personal sort of top 10 of the year list. So
No shot.
It'll be in that.
it'll be in mine.
That's
I
because
put more-
Matt plays some bullshit games, fam. If we're keeping it,
I
100.
put more time into that than any other game this year so
This-
far.
This next game Matt's going to talk about is not going to be on his game of the year list.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
absolutely
it
will
is.
be.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
So fucking
Bro,
Lutely
he
will
hasn't
be.
shut up about it.
Wait. He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna be like, "Oh man, it's great." And me and Joe are gonna be like, "Oh, it's gonna end up in his top 3, like top 2 probably, right?" And then it's gonna come out time. He's gonna be like, "Number 8." Go on. Go on about the game, Matt.
Dredge is fucking brilliant. This is a game that I've been playing for like a month because they sent the code so early and then the embargo lifted like a day ago or something, which I didn't realize. And yeah, I haven't. I mean, it's not like I've been breaking embargoes. Don't say that, but I have not shut up to it about these two off air, because it's fucking brilliant. It is a cozy fishing game, but also a horror game with a Resident Evil style inventory system.
A Resident Evil 4 style.
Well, how is Resident Evil 4's inventory different to Resident Evil 2?
You can't move it around in 2.
Can you not?
No.
In 2 Remake you can, which is the only 2 I've played.
Can you?
Yeah.
What do you mean by
It's a
move it
box
around?
system.
Like,
Like, what are you talking
move
about?
items?
Rearrange stuff.
No, you don't. Not in 2, you don't.
No, you can't like flip items around.
That's a strictly Resident Evil 4 system. Get
Yeah,
the
you can't.
off my podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure they're like stuck in the.
No.
I might be
sure I
wrong
remember
about
doing
that.
No,
I might be wrong about that.
You don't even have a box in Resident Evil 2, like in your inventory. You have pouches. You don't move it around to make it fit.
Yeah.
I thought you did.
No.
No, it has the box type stuff.
It
in
has the box
inventory
system.
space.
That's the whole point. You have a box.
I'm
Okay.
getting confused with this. I don't know Resident Evil, bro.
I'll take your word for it. You know Resident Evil better than I do, but maybe I'm thinking of like 8 and 7.
You
have
might
it?
be speaking of.
I
don't think 8 you even move it around.
no clue.
This is mind blowing to me. I always thought it was
Matt's
in every
played
Resident
8
Evil game.
way more times than
I
me,
know.
Fix.
I
I'm
know.
inclined to believe Matt on that one. I think Fix is taking his luck with the with what you call it too, and
All
he's
right.
just running with it now.
Point is, it's a fishing game with horror elements and a Resident Evil 4 style inventory system, and it's fucking brilliant. It's so good, and the way it does its horror stuff, like basically you're a fisherman, you end up in this creepy little village, and at the start, you know, you have a boat with a not very good engine, and so you can't go very fast, and so you kind of get to know your little bay area quite well, and then people start telling you like, oh, don't stay out at night. Like, you don't want to stay out at night. And then you're like, but I know the bay really, really well. I'll stay out at night. And then start making your way back into the port and rocks start popping up where they weren't supposed to before. And then, is that another fishing boat out on the horizon? That's weird. People say there are no other fishermen around here and it's getting closer. And now it's like coming for you and like, oh, shit. And then like stuff crawls. It's awesome. It's really cool. Kind of one of those games, the less you know about it, the better. Just fucking play it. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
And yes, it will end up on my game of the year list.
Will it end up on? Is it on Xbox right now?
Yes, I've played on Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. I've requested a key, but I haven't received one yet. So I might have to send an email to try and get it because you again, you are very hype on this game. So
It's a good one. I mean, it is absolutely this year's Artful Escape, where I am super hype on it and nobody else plays it. And
that's not true.
I
Other
cry
people
about it.
played Artful Escape. It was up for Game of the Year contender. So
I think he means the 3 of us.
Yeah, I mean, you
Oh.
too.
oh yeah,
I mean,
but you
the
can't.
only,
I didn't
the
even
only
touch
opinions
Artful
on the
Escape.
internet I care about.
Here's what I will say. This game looks 10 times more interesting than Artful Escape.
Ooh, okay, cool. Well,
Doesn't
to be
mean I'm
fair,
gonna play it because I won't play it, but it looks more interesting than Artful Escape.
but you should play it. To be fair, I think Fixer would like the Artful Escape 100 times more than you would. Crash.
You mean Dreaded?
No, I mean Artful Escape.
Oh, okay.
Artful Escape.
I genuinely think you'll both enjoy Dredge.
Oh, Dredge, just it. Sorry, yeah. Okay. I wanna play it. I do want to try it out. So yeah.
And it's short. It's like it feels like a great little, I don't know, probably like 7-8 hour.
Well, okay.
Game.
To put things into perspective, I'm back playing Football Manager, so that tells you that I have time. No. What that means is I have time to play other things.
Sure.
But I have nothing to. I don't have something currently to fill my time with. This Dredge game isn't a game I'll probably stream. Like, it's not really that type of game with my audience and stuff like that. So that would fit into that slot right now. So yeah.
What Fix thinks is that he has time. Then the first time he plays Dredge, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, that game's all right." But man, I really was close to winning that championship with this Football Manager.
What I will say is because of the kind of eldritch horror tension of that game, like it is kind of a slow burn. Like like you start to snowball and upgrade your ship really quickly and like get faster and then be able to go out further and do all these things. But the opening is quite like it kind of like what none of their marketing has done this, but it kind of wants you to lull you into that false sense of like Stardew Valley cozy fishing game sense of security kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Cool.
How long would you say that opening is?
Yeah, Crash struggles with slowness.
Yeah.
Well, like I say,
yeah,
I would say like okay. My suggestion to you would be upgrade your engines as soon as you can so that you can go further in the day. The way that the time of day works is that time only passes when you're moving or fishing. So if you just sit still, nothing happens. Like time doesn't move, which is an interesting kind of mechanic to it. So yeah, upgrade your engines early and get off to a faster start like that, and then maybe an hour and a bit or something, and you'll be like dealing with some more interesting stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Resident Evil 4. It is here. It is out. The remake. I played it. Thank you, Capcom, for providing me with a code. Big thank you to them. I got to play it a day early. I am at chapter 4 of the game currently. Now, brief history with me and Resident Evil 4. Some of you will know, some of you won't. Resident Evil 4 is probably one of the greatest games ever made, in my opinion. I do still believe it is one of the greatest games to destroy the Resident Evil franchise as well. Now, Resident Evil 4 Remake. So far, I like it a lot. It's a very good game. It's a very, very good game, obviously. There was no doubt that this game was going to be good. Let's be totally honest. The crux of what they're working with here is considered one of the greatest games. Is considered one of the greatest games ever. So, what I will say is where I'm up to chapter 4. So again, I had people in my chat being like, "I don't want spoilers." I was like, "Guy, we all know this story. This game's been out for like, what are we doing here? We know what happens." Currently, it isn't different enough for my liking. It has made some changes, obviously, to modernize the story and for certain things to just make sense. There's a lot of things here that you go, "Oh, that's different. Oh, that's different," but it's not different enough yet. There's something warm and fuzzy about the familiarity of the game, I'll be honest, and seeing it, it's very much that seeing it and going, "You mean this wasn't what it looked like when I played it 10 years ago?" Like, that's what it feels like to me when I'm playing it. And then I go back and look at a screenshot, and I'm like, "Oh god, that game was ugly," compared to what this is. Graphically fantastic. Like, the RE engine is ridiculous. It's so good. It's so good. So some of the small changes they've made to the game make it just a way better experience to play, in my opinion. I like what they've done with Leon as a character so far in terms of his youngness. He looks a lot younger in this game. I love the opening, no spoilers, but I love the opening. It gives you way more context than the original Resident Evil 4 ever did.
Really?
Way more context straight away. Off the bat, it gives you more context to one particular character. Instantly, it's like, oh, that makes way more sense. Instantly.
Really?
You don't agree?
We maybe need to talk about this offline. Well,
Well,
look,
you can't spoil the game.
Well, okay, but you literally just said no spoilers, and then were quite cryptic about what you were saying.
Well, I'm worried. I guess I'm more worried about people that haven't played it. Go on.
I was gonna say you can absolutely spoil it.
Yeah, like I haven't played it, right? And so like the reason that what you're saying right now is interesting to me is I'm coming off the back of Resident Evil 2 remake, which was my kind of first experience with Leon as a character. And something I really enjoyed about that game is that feeling of like, this is new, this is fresh, this is like as scary to Leon as it is to me. And then Resident Evil 4 remake starts with a montage of going, it's been, I can't remember, 5 or 6 years since Resident Evil 2.
Yes, I know.
I survived that, and I've just been this awesome government agent badass for the past 5-6 years.
No, that's what happens in the original. In the original, it's literally, yep, I'm the super agent. At least you got a fucking montage that was like, boom. We didn't get that back in the day.
I don't think that's Matt's problem.
No, but now we're in Resident Evil 4, and this whatever is going on with this Spanish village is clearly new, and Leon is unfamiliar with it, but is also completely unfazed.
Yes,
like we've entered this world of like it being almost supernatural in the sense that like, who the fuck is this trader guy, and why is Leon totally fine with this guy just popping up constantly and being like, "Hey, friend." Like,
unfortunately, that's the game. There's certain parts of it you have to just go, okay. To me, in the lore of Resident Evil, that man doesn't exist.
Okay,
like in my head, he's not there. Like
it's your headcanon. Got you.
This isn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
in lore.
In my head, in the way I play, because it doesn't make sense. Why does it make sense? Why does it make sense? There's a shooting range that you get tokens and that helps you upgrade. Like that, all that side of things. I go, that's the game being a game, and that's okay. Yeah. Games are allowed to be games, you know.
Yeah, I agree, and like you could definitely argue that the Duke is the exact same way in Village.
Yes,
but I think Village
makes more sense.
It steps way more into that supernatural area, right? Like we're fighting a 9-foot tall vampire lady. Like we're in that world.
Yeah, but you're forgetting this is where it started to get to that.
Sure, but for me, that juxtaposition against Resident Evil 2 remake, which felt grounded as far as it could.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think the best way to explain it is this game is very. You can tell how much it takes influence from The Last of Us. Like there are moments in this game, even down to the stealth mechanics now in the game.
Yeah.
You correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain Resident Evil 4 never had stealth back in the day.
No, definitely.
This is a whole new thing, and I'm like, okay. It feels very Resident Evil cross with Last of Us. But you're right. The problem is with this game, when it comes to like why it will never be, for me, considered as good as Last of Us, is because everything in Last of Us, to me, I can go, oh, that makes sense.
Sure.
Where with Resident Evil, like you just said, the merchant, that don't make no fucking sense. My guys just turn up. But to bring it back to the game is fantastic. Like from what I've played so far, the game is fantastic. It just at this moment in time and where I've gotten up to, it's just too similar.
Right, which is really interesting because I'm brand new to this. I say brand new, like Resident Evil 4 is an iconic enough game that I am recognizing things that I didn't even think I would. The bit with the dog, saving the dog, right? I'm like, I know this.
Yeah.
I know how this plays out somehow. Like I don't know how, to be honest with you, but I do know it.
But even that, it's like that is exactly the same.
Right.
I wish that was different. It's not different enough. It's just the same.
The iconic section where right at the beginning of the game you're in the village and you have to survive until the bell hits.
Yeah.
Is the layout of the village the same?
Exactly the same.
Which is interesting, right? Because I thought that was the case, but I wasn't familiar enough to know for sure.
Put it this way. I instantly knew where the shotgun was.
And I did not, right? And so I was getting really pissed off in that first bit because what I would say it does do, like graphically, music, everything plays really well together. And I am tense, right? Like I am panicked playing that section of that game.
I know.
I get it, right? And it's the same what I had with Village, where like I ended up running through that game 4 or 5 times and lost all of that.
Yeah.
But still enjoyed it. And so I totally get coming to you. You coming to it is a very different experience than me coming to it.
I don't find it scary at all. And I've not had that in a Resident Evil game. Even 7 and 8. 7 and 8. So like 2, 3, 7, 8. All of those games that have come out in the last few years, at least my first playthrough, I've gone, oh, this is creepy. Oh, this is a little bit scary. Oh, there's a jump scare. And it's got me because it feels so different and its atmosphere is so well done. Now, and again, maybe this is the problem with me playing Dead Space and that being such a fresh experience for me that I go, comparing the two, atmospherically, Dead Space is way better than this game. Way better. But as an overall title, Resident Evil 4 is way better, in my opinion.
Right.
Like the story and everything else, like yeah. But yeah, I'm struggling. So I'm up to chapter 4. You would have thought I would have beat this game by now. This game is, I can beat this game in my fucking sleep. Like it's not gonna take. And I'm just like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, it feels like a game where I'm like, I'll get to it. Now that I've seen that opening, which is some of the fun, like my favorite parts of the game, I'm a bit like, I've done this before, and I'm really hoping beyond, and I'm still early on. There's like 16 chapters in Resident Evil 4, so I'm hoping the further on I get, the better and more different the story beats are going to be. I've only just got to Ashley. I'm hearing that her character is way more fleshed out in this compared to the previous game. But yeah, I'm just a little bit. I'm not let down. I 100% understand why it's got 10s from what I've played so far. I can see it. You just like, even I forgot how melee focused this game is. It is so, from that opening sequence where you start. It's like shoot him in the head, wait for him to stun, fight, melee, run, shoot in the head, wait for him to stun, melee, and it's like, oh yeah. This is like, to me, I can't get out of my head where I'm like, this is why we got punching boulders. Like, this is why we got punching boulders. Like, yeah, so it doesn't change the fact that the game's amazing, but there's still a part in my brain that just goes, it's not quite, it's not the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's not.
No, but then that had so much further to come. Like, we always talk about how Resi 4 is still a modern enough game that the remake doesn't mean as much from Resi 2. Yeah, but I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I think it does do, for me as somebody who's new to it, it does do panic, it does do tension well. Like, I'm making bad decisions constantly when I'm in these fights. Like, I'm wasting ammo, or I'm fucking bear traps. Oh my god. Something in every fucking bear trap. Every single one. Every snake that jumps out of a box gets me. Every, like, all these things. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to playing it more. I think I'm probably more motivated to play it by the sounds of it than you are.
I'll beat it probably this week, but yeah.
But I am feeling that, like, level of simplicity in its design, right? In the like, oh, I've just left this hub area, I need to go and get this thing. If I'm in like an arena essentially, and I need to make my way to the back of it to get the thing, and then I need to come back out, and that feels very, I think in a modern game that would do a better job of like maybe looping you through 2 areas to get you back to that hub, or like it feels dated in that design sense in some areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think, have you done has the game opened up to you at the lake yet?
So I've just killed the lake thing.
You're about
So
to, you're about to open up, and
Yeah.
the game's about to be like, go and
Oh,
have
really?
a look.
Okay, cool.
Go and have a look. Yeah, I won't. Again, you'll enjoy it from there, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, I hope no one takes what I'm saying as like a negative, like as like not to buy the game. I think if you've never played Resident Evil 4, this is the best way to play Resident Evil 4. I think if you are into survivor horror / action games, this is probably one of the best ones out there. I think there's a lot of fun to be had in this video game. I'm talking about it more from a hardcore-ish Resident Evil point of view, I guess. Which, again, I'm happy this game exists. Like it just, but it furthermore makes me go, please give me Resident Evil 1 remake in this engine. And I might even want that before I want Code Veronica.
Right.
Just for it to make sense. Like, to be able to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, then Code Veronica, and that slots in between 3. Oh.
That's not gonna happen.
No, I know.
So
I know it's not going to.
Code Veronica takes place between 3 and 4.
Code Veronica takes place, the first half of Code Veronica takes place, no, Code 3. Code Veronica takes place, oh fudge. You play the first half of 2. Bro, it's a whole thing. So
In that era.
It takes place after, it takes place after 3.
Okay.
And then 4 happens. Yeah.
Okay.
But the way you
do
do
they-
it is, yeah, there's a whole way of doing it. It's like, yeah.
That 6-year gap that has happened between 2 and 4 for Leon,
Yeah.
did they fill that in very much at all?
Oh no, it's Claire and Chris.
Give me those games. Give me those games of Leon being this reluctant special agent who's still very new to this and off fighting monsters and weird shit. Give me those games. They're the games I want.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, I'm interested to see what you think by the end of this game then, because if you're having that
Yeah.
feeling now, oh, wait till he starts
So-
facing some of these people. Yeah, go on, Chris. Sorry.
Fix as I need you to put your hardcore Resident Evil fan hat on. And as the hardcore Resident Evil fan, Resident Evil 4 remake or Resident Evil 8?
4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake or Resident Evil 7?
4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake or Resident Evil 2 remake?
2 remake.
Interesting. Okay, Matt, can you answer all those questions as well?
Yeah, 2 remake. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. That's really hard.
Matt's been defeated. He's not hardcore.
No, that's really hard because I think like 7 and 2 remake are more similar, whereas 4 and 8 are more similar.
Oh,
Like,
4 and
they're
8,
almost-
I feel like, so this is the biggest problem I have with the game. Sorry to cut you off. 4 and 8 remake, I don't know if it's just my head, and maybe I am totally off key here. I'm pretty sure they use the same assets.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
they're the same game.
you're- I remember when Resident Evil 8 was coming out, a whole bunch of people were talking about like, oh, there's so many Resident Evil 4 things in this game.
I'm pretty sure they're the
So
same
that
assets.
does not surprise me.
I'm
at all
pretty sure they're the
if
same
that would be
assets.
the case.
Yep.
I mean, the opening is the same. Like, to the point where, like, in Village, you go into the village and get attacked until something happens, and then you are no longer being attacked. Like, it's the same opening. Like, they're not. Yeah, I don't know. And because I was so unfamiliar with 4, maybe I just didn't see it and didn't know, and it felt fresher to me. And da da da. But I can see why people are like down on 8, basically, based on what I've played so far of 4. Like, they're very similar in that sense.
Yeah, well, I think it's that whole thing where I'm looking at 4, and again, someone in my chat, Full Metal, you all know Full Metal Matty. He was like, yeah, but you got to think you haven't played that game in a really long time, so you're not you'll remember it. And I was like, so I looked back and I was like, no, yeah, I'm looking at this game and I'm going, oh, I understand why we got Resident Evil 4 remake, and it weren't just because they wanted to do it out of the kindness of their heart. It was like, we're gonna make 8, and the way we're gonna, again, I could be talking totally out of my arsehole. I don't know how game development works. I don't know how hard it is to do these things, but from what I understand a little bit, it's like, oh, we're gonna create 8, but then we'll be able to use those assets and reskin whatever it is you got to do to how that works, and we can reuse them in a 4 remake. That's how it feels. It feels like that. It feels like that to me.
What specifically are you talking about?
Aesthetically, the entire village.
Is the village a 1-to-1 similar as Resident Evil 8?
No, it's not 1-to-1 at all.
No.
No, it's just, it's little things like color palette and just the assets that are used in the village that I think 8 all the time when I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh no, I should think 4.
So is it just that the designs for them are similar, or are you legit saying they reused assets? Because those are two.
I'm not saying nothing, yeah. Because I'm saying nothing, and I'm saying everything. All right. I'm saying when I play the game, I look at the assets and I think Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
That's surprising to me. I don't.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally off gear. Maybe I'm totally off. But it's just little things. There's little things that I go, have I seen that? Have I seen that before? Like,
I think Resident Evil 8 was just super inspired by Resident Evil 4, and that's why playing them again is like it's giving you similar vibes.
Could be.
Because people, when Resident Evil 8, not before it even came out, I remember when people played the demo, people were like, oh, this is very Resident Evil 4. This is going to be a very Resident Evil 4 game. So it's not surprising to me that now that you've played Resident Evil 4 Remake, it's like, oh, it's a very Resident Evil 8 game.
Yeah.
Also, I think you most recently played Village in third person.
I did.
And so you are probably drawing those parallels a lot closer than I would, having never played Village in third person.
Possibly.
So yeah, there's probably that element as well. But I'm enjoying my time with 4, and I will definitely finish it.
Yeah. It will be up there for Game of the Year.
To do it.
100%. It will be up there for Game of the Year. It's not even a question, you know? It'll be up there with Dead Space. It'll be up there with Hi-Fi Rush. 100%.
Yeah. I just wish Resident Evil would break itself into 2 franchises, and one of them's action, one of them's
Survival Horror.
Evil 2 remake.
Bro, I generally feel like 9 is the make or break from the franchise. I know that sounds stupid being 9 games in, but this very much feels like the Resident Evil 6 of its time right now. Where like, why are you putting faces?
Resident Evil 6 came after Resident Evil 5, and there was co-op games as well, right? I know Resident Evil 6
was co-op.
But
5 and 6 are co-op. No, but 5 and 6 were... Oh, you're about...
But wasn't there like a spin-off or something like that
Operation Raccoon City, yeah.
Yeah. So in what way is Resident Evil 9 remotely similar?
Because I think they've done such a great job with 7 and 8, right? For new players.
Yeah.
Where it's a case of like, okay, we don't really care about our old cast. We don't really care about lore, really. Let's be honest. Like, we're going to throw in an Umbrella reference here and an Umbrella reference there, but no one really gives 2 craps. Like, we're talking about Ethan. Now, at the end of, obviously, 8 and the way that ends and stuff like that, and what they've now done with Remake 2, Remake 3, and Remake 4 now, I feel like you've got people like me going, okay, now when are we getting a modern... in 9, are we getting a new Jill game? Are we getting a new Chris game? Are we getting a new Claire game? Like, when are we going to get back to the characters we actually care about? And I feel like that's kind of what happened with 6, in a way, where it was like, they gave us Leon, they gave us Chris, and then they gave us a new character. And from that, bro, when Resident Evil 6 got shown, oh my god, Leon and Chris are meeting for the first time. Oh, they're going to have a fight, blah, blah, blah. It was this big, big moment, bro. And then the game came out, and we were like, oh god, this is not what we wanted. Like, this is bad. But that's what I feel like 9's gonna be now, where it's a case of like, we just spent a whole game with Chris being weird, if we're being honest. Like, it wasn't the Chris we knew, like the hero type, and he's just like this total different person. But now we've spent time with our old characters that are now been modernized, and we want to see them in a modern story, in a new story now. You know, like, the Ethan story is done. Nobody gives a crap about Ethan.
They'll bring him back in Resident Evil 12. I'm sure people will pop off.
They won't. Nobody cares.
I'll pop off.
Here's what's gonna happen. Chris and Leon are gonna meet up, and it's gonna be this big moment. They're about to take out the big bad guy, and then what's gonna happen is, from one corner, Wesker walks out, and then they're like, "Oh, we can take on Wesker." And in the other corner, Ethan walks out missing his hand.
You're such an idiot, bro.
To a lifetime.
No, I just don't see why they would spend apart from money, right? Like why they would spend all this time building up these characters again. When we've now got a modern version of Leon, a modern version of Claire. We're getting a new anime series with Claire in as well. Like, are you telling me we're gonna get a number 9 game and it's about fucking Rose? Like, please no.
I don't think so.
What if they do whatever they do with 9, and then 10 for the big 10?
No.
It's not 10.
No.
It's Resident Evil 1 remake.
No.
And it's a reset.
No.
Everything's gone.
It's too
Forget
late.
everything
It's too
you
late.
knew.
It's too late.
Yeah.
They should have done that with this new
They should have done that.
this
with 2
new
remake.
remake stuff. Well, they should have started with fucking Resident Evil 1 I don't care if we get, because we've really got a Resident Evil 1 remake is the problem. But it was on the
Sure.
fucking GameCube. Like, give us a 1 remake with now the story is where it's at. Give us a 1 remake that is now the original. Forget 0, that doesn't exist, alright? In this new remake law. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we remake 5 as a single player game in Africa, shooting Ouroboros. I'm for it. After playing 4, Crash, I'm on board. You keep talking about a 5 remake, I'm on it. I'm down. Like, I'm at that point now. Like, just cut out all the crap of that game and just give me this. Because again, at least then we get Wesker again. At least we get Wesker again.
Look, I am somebody who always like ride for Resident Evil 5, you know. But just to play devil's advocate for a second, because I never thought I'd be on this side. Resident Evil 5 has a whole bunch of BS in it.
How much of a game get rid
would
of
you
that?
have when you cut out all the BS?
No, because you just have to remake the whole fucking thing, mate. It's just like, you know, like
We don't know.
Why call it Resident Evil 5? That's Resident Evil 9.
Wait, you think it's bad now? Resident Evil 5, you never guess what you do when you start the game.
The same village
You
sequence.
walk into a fucking village!
And survive for as long as you can until a thing happens.
until a helicopter comes!
That happened in wow.
That's the same in 5.
Yes!
It's the same in 5.
Wait, it is.
It's the exact same thing in 5!
But what I would want them to do, and I don't think they will, because I think that they've established what this is now with 4, in that they're not changing. I mean, maybe 4 is beloved
haven't-
enough where they just
hey,
go, we don't need to change anything.
We haven't got to the end of this game. We don't know if there's a big change.
I don't think there will be.
No,
I will-
the problem is from the reviews though. There is reviews out there. Again, I haven't got there yet,
Well-
so we could be talking complete nonsense. But people do say the story moves a little bit differently.
All right.
What I've heard is that there is a section of the game that was in the original that is not in this.
They
Yeah,
took out
And,
the section.
and it's narratively, it makes more sense as far as I'm aware. I don't know what that means. I don't know what could be taken out or whatever. But go ahead, Matt.
Well, what I was going to say is I think people would pop off, but they'd have to message it in a very good way if they go, and now we're working on 5 remake. Forget everything you know. It's not 5 remake. It's Resident Evil 5.
But that's
And
what
it's
they've been
new.
doing. To be fair, like we call them remakes, they don't call them remakes.
No, but they would have to establish as soon as they announce that game that this is not 5 remake. This is a new 5.
But I think you can still be in Africa. You can still do the Ouroboros. You can
I
still
agree.
have Wesker. You can still have the crux of what's there. It's just make it good this time.
You could have the story because I don't think narratively there's anything out of place in that story for
No,
Resident
not
Evil
really.
game, if I'm
No,
being
no,
honest.
not really, no.
It's just the middle bits of what you're actually doing in that
Yeah.
game. I feel like
Okay. I mean,
well-
I have such a weak memory of that game, so I'll take your guys' word for it. But I just remember it being very lackluster in every sense.
yeah, it's Resident Evil. But Resident Evil 4 remake.
Wow.
But Resident Evil 4 remake. Honestly, I don't know why you would expect them to like deviate too much. That for most people is
Because-
considered like a perfect game.
You
And
would-
if you're gonna
yes.
bring it back,
That's
why bother messing with it?
Yeah.
I
You can't
didn't.
win.
Let me make this clear. I didn't expect them to deviate. I wanted them to deviate.
Okay.
There's a
Okay.
big like again. We all know I'm on the wrong side of this argument when it comes to
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4.
That's what
Like, I know I'm on the wrong side of the argument. Like it's not like, but it's just the way I
have
feel.
this argument.
It's because of the knock-on effect that it had to the series. That's why I don't like it. Not because it's not a great game. You take away the name of Resident Evil. It's this rookie. It's this super agent that now that can now fight. That is rescuing the president's daughter. Solid game. I really like it. Really fun game. It's when you add Leon into that, and Matt makes a perfect argument. It makes no fucking sense. And yes, I know, Crash, I know. Resident Evil doesn't make sense, I know. But nor does Kingdom Hearts. And nor does Smite.
True.
But you like that.
Actually, Smite has a. I had a joke to make, and now it's completely
Good.
slipped my mind.
I'm glad.
God. Oh.
I'm glad it's gone. Alright, should we move on from Resident Evil? Because that was a nice talk. This week's dashboard, there isn't much, so I do apologize. But Epic did come out with their they come out with like a Unreal event. I didn't even know what's happening, like this Unreal event. I didn't even know it was happening and stuff like that. Well, we must have done, because it was at GDC this year.
It was just them showing off Unreal 5.2.
Yes. So a lot got shown. We got to see some stuff from Hellblade 2, and that game. Not gameplay we didn't see, like we saw like more in-engine stuff, right? If I'm not mistaken. It looked mad. Like they showed off like the way they can do face recognition now with like an iPhone, meaning like me, you, and Crush could make a game if we wanted to at this point. It's getting to that point, bro. Where
I don't believe none of that.
brother,
Believe none of that.
brother, if you look at what it's getting closer.
Let me just say, you're saying a game. We saw them animate
I didn't say a good game.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, what they showed was very specific, and it was a face being animated. I'm not saying the technology and stuff like that there is amazing. I'm just saying what we saw was very limited. But we've already seen Unreal Engine 5.
I saw
completely phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I saw people popping off in like the D&D community because, like,
oh, bro.
Theoretically, what you could do with this stuff is like real-time character animation. So you'd like build your character in Unreal, who's like a half orc, whatever, and then that would be the character who's on camera. And so you play a D&D game in Discord or whatever, and everybody has their character kind of real-time animating like that, and it would look fucking insane. It's just a really cool idea.
Yeah,
I think we're ways off that, but like
no,
it seems very achievable in a reasonably short term.
Bro, I think the thing that impressed me the most was obviously the Fortnite stuff, which is crazy because literally me and Chris spoke about it last week about how I said to you, didn't I? About I bought his skins, but just because I trust Epic. With for some reason I don't know why I trust them. I have no reason to trust them. They're a big ass business that makes tons of money. I don't know why, but for some reason I do. And I felt like this creative stuff just absolutely nailed it for me, to be honest with you. So for those who don't know, there's a new Fortnite creative, I think it's called Fortnite Creative 2.0, which pretty much means you can make what your imagination lets you, to be honest with you, at this point.
Yeah.
It's people have made Call of Duty maps better than like there's a mixture of maps. They've got like story modes in there, and it looks crazy, bro. It looks nuts. Like I could probably make Resident Evil 1. Someone needs to make someone can make Resident Evil 1 in there. The entire Resident Evil 1, and I could play as Claire doing it.
We can do it.
No, we can't.
One thing I will say is that apparently the gunplay and the actual gameplay, like a lot of people have created some really cool stuff in that. The gunplay and gameplay isn't that great in it, but that gets improved over time.
It's still Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the Fortnite's greatest attribute, isn't its gunplay, in my opinion.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying what I've heard. Just to put a little,
Yeah, a little asterisk next to it. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed with what they showed. Like, don't get me wrong. They also announced that 40% of the revenue was going to go to the community who are making this content, which is huge.
It is the smartest thing that they could do, because now what they're doing is like, oh yeah, you like to make content for a game, and like, okay, well, you're gonna be able to get a source of revenue from this. It might not be something that you can live off of, but it'll be something that you can fund that hobby of. Because for some people, they really go hard and crazy with this stuff to see what people have done in Dreams and Roblox and all these other games to see what they can do with something like this. I think it'll be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no.
I was just going to say, what do you think the vibe is in Media Molecule right now? Them trying to keep Dreams alive and then looking at this and going, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but they've never... The problem is with Media Molecule, and again, this is outside looking in, their community's never been big enough, right? Like where like Fortnite is a global phenomenon, and like even still to this day, like I'll go places, there's still kids still playing it on their iPads and everything else. And again, this is where PlayStation never moved with the times. Dreams is a PC game. It's not to get the best out of it. It needs to be a PC game, not a PlayStation game. And that's something that obviously the other companies have seen pretty early on. So yeah, I just they like I said, they did the metahuman stuff again, which that stuff always impresses me. We're getting to a point now where I've always wanted to be, where I can scan my face into a game. Like we're getting to that point almost.
Especially because they did it live on live on stage.
Live.
I know. I was like, I don't know. This is too quick. Like I don't know. You put that file off that iPhone somehow onto your laptop and you're already running. I don't know.
I still can't do that.
Because every iPhone now since 11, I want to say, has had that front-facing depth camera that allows you to do AR stuff and all those bits and bobs. And they did it on stage that way. Like, we are in a world conceivably where you'd enter a character creator and it would go, great, download the app for the game, boot up the camera, we're going to scan your face, and then you're in. And then you can still make adjustments or whatever.
Or maybe it's not the app for the game, it just becomes the MetaHuman app. And that is if you're developing on Unreal Engine, they've just got that built in, or there's a way of building that in or something like that.
And then you'd only have to scan it in once and you'd be able to use it in that game or this game. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That'd be really, really cool.
Can I be honest for a second?
Yeah.
I'm really tired, and Fix said meta, and I thought he was trying to get back into the metaverse, and I was about to say some stuff, and then I realized, like, I'm a little bit too tired. That's not what he was talking about at all.
No, I honestly just find this stuff really interesting. I find I've never really wanted. I was talking about this the other day with Haley. I was like, all right, I'm 30 now, right? And I've had different levels of success in my life on the content creation game, and I was like, I'm starting to get more wanting to do more creative things. In terms of like, I was talking the other day about like maybe writing a script and just little things like that. Like I sit here and critique all the damn time, and I'm sure it won't be that good because obviously the first time you do anything, it won't be good. It's even down to like D&D. I'm at that point now in my life where I'm like, I want to do D&D. I need to just fucking set aside time, stop putting faces, but I need to just set aside time and do it. Like I do it with roleplay, and I think that is what has like made me more creative. Where I'm like, well, if I can do this with a character in GTA roleplay, I wonder what I could do when I actually sit down and flesh something out. And I see stuff like this, and I'm like, if I can bring that stuff to life, it makes it that much easier with the creative process. So I just find this stuff super interesting, and I'm glad Epic are still. I know it's their bread and butter. Why wouldn't they? But I think it's sometimes we always think of them as the Fortnite company at this point. And it's like they're really not. They are the Unreal Engine company, and they have Fortnite as well.
Another brilliant thing with this is that they literally combine the two best aspects of Epic with Unreal Engine and Fortnite, and like, hey, here's the mashup. You can now create stuff. A lot of it's tools from Unreal Engine that let you do stuff in Fortnite. Yeah. So it's just like, it's really, really smart business-wise on them.
For sure. Good. Yeah, and like the technical aspects of it, like how you can have like a shared creative space where I'm on PC dropping in assets and you're literally running around in Fortnite and they're appearing right in front of you. Like, it's absolutely insane. I think it'll be interesting to see how they do deal with a lot of the same issues that Dreams was dealing with, where people were remaking, not this exactly, but like Resident Evil 1. And then it's like, well, if you're now telling the creators they can make money off of that as well.
Yeah, but then...
Well, what do we know what the monetization...
I don't think so. I don't think they've announced it yet.
Because like, it could just be like, hey, you made a world off of Resident Evil, whatever. Like, that has to be free to play. You can't... Like, there can be no money being made off of that. And technically it would be... I guess it would go under for use, but I'm not entirely sure.
I'm pretty sure it would be.
That's really soap in general.
But then I don't. Again, we don't know full details around this. They've just released Leon skins. Like Fix has a Leon skin, right? It seems mad to me that I would be able to build a Resident Evil world, free to play or not, and then Fix would be able to jump in that as Leon.
Yeah, but it's still not Resident Evil. come on, it's still like, don't get me wrong, it looks amazing and stuff like that. It's still not gonna have. It's still, look at Resident Evil 4. We're not building that, are we? Let's be honest.
No, but Resident Evil 1, like, scale it way back to a house and like 2 levels, like.
Resident Evil 1's way more than 2 levels.
Is it?
Way more.
All right, Resident Evil 2 then.
Resident Evil.
You know what?
Resident Evil 2's way more.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know what I mean?
How
Like
dare
when you
you.
scale it back
How
to those
dare,
old school
how
games.
dare
A
him? How
little
dare he?
bit.
When you scale it way back to those old school games that are all right,
When you
4 locations.
scale it back to just the beginning gas station,
Yeah.
it's a really small.
It's just a really small
game.
title.
Exactly.
It's not
Bro,
big at all.
Resident Evil 2, literally the gas station's a level in itself. What do you
Oh, right,
mean?
It's
You
like
could
2
just do the
things you find,
PlayStation.
the game's done,
Like-
bro.
This fucking guy.
I
No,
will say,
yeah.
never be too surprised because I do think like if you guys are saying like scale it down. I wouldn't be surprised if you get like a full
I agree.
scale.
Oh,
version.
100% you will eventually. I think what you might find, what I would hope you would find really, is that you start seeing these like small scale things come out that are really, really fucking good, and then people find each other.
Yep.
And then you have a remote dev studio that is all working on one thing that brings, because people do that in Dreams.
Yeah.
Like people will, just do music in Dreams, and other people just do characters in Dreams, and then they come together and build something.
But the key
Yeah.
here is, and again, I know from my, because just as a creator, and there's a chance you can make money from it. Well,
And it's free to get in.
and that's obviously huge. I think that's the fun part for me. That's always, I know I don't want to bring this up because I know Chris is going to go off on me. But it's very much like the NFT games and things like that, right? Where I don't care about NFTs. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm talking about the perspective of being able to earn money from the thing you love doing.
Yeah.
To me, that is always a cool thing. So if Epic have figured out a way of, oh, you want to sit on Twitch or Mixer, oh, that's dead, or wherever, sorry, Microsoft, I didn't mean that, anywhere, and you want to stream yourself making these assets, and there's a code in which is going to help you then make money, that type of thing is super cool to me. Like, I know it's not possible for every game, but like, I wish every game could have something like that when it makes sense, Especially I always find it weird having a creator thing. Like, oh, you guys make the content. It's like, yeah, but you're earning from it. How about you help me earn something from it?
Yeah,
And Epic
yeah.
have literally gone, yeah, we're going to help you earn. All right. Oh, okay. That's weird. What, Chris, you disagree?
I'm just gonna say you're earning off of their game.
Yeah. No, 100%. I don't dispute that.
So then why? It's already a two-way street.
I'm not saying it isn't
Second
a
you make
two-way
content
street.
off of it.
I'm not
I
saying it's
don't
not a
know.
two-way
I like
street.
you were saying it wasn't.
I'm saying I want more than two-way. I want three-way, but all towards me.
It's a great
It's the
clip.
wrong type of
Pause,
podcast.
pause. Moving on.
It's the wrong
Type of podcast.
Next up, the Dune screenwriter is to adapt the Gears of War movie for Netflix. Not much more to add on to here, to be honest with you, but there is a script being written for the Gears of War film that is going to be produced by Netflix. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be very good. I am very worried about it. I don't like what Netflix. I don't like what Netflix has done with video game properties, other than The Witcher, and that even that they've ended up fucking up because they've lost the main actor.
Yeah.
Have either of you guys watched Dune?
No,
Okay.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, but most of the people I've heard good things about from Dune
And nerds,
are book fans, or like
Nerds.
fans of the books.
nerds.
So like I don't know if that's really like the Dune movie was good or it was a good adaptation, which I guess
But
you'd want
also-
for the Gears of War, but I don't know.
Dune wasn't produced by Netflix.
No,
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
think-
this is just the script,
Yeah.
right? You're looking
Yeah.
at the screenwriter.
but I think one of the things that helped Dune, and again, I'm talking to my ass a little bit here, but like, Dune is this massive world, right? And this massive series, and they were able to focus on a bit of it for the first film, with the knowledge that they were going to get 3, 4, 5. Gears of War is a big franchise and has a big story to tell. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix bites off more than they can chew
Here's
in trying to fit too much into a movie.
if they try telling a big story in general with Gears of War, they've not only bit off more than they can chew, they've completely like
Right.
missed like Gears of
Do
War.
you know
Yeah, I
how
agree.
easy it is to get this film? Like to get this film right.
All you need is a buddy war movie with
Bro,
the fucking
we
Locust.
open in the prison. Sorted. That's the start. All right.
Can
you
I-
open
no
up-
way
You
it opens
open.
in the
prison.
You open with Mark. If it doesn't open in the prison, the film's dead in the start. Like if you mess
opens-
that
I could-
part up, you are fucking stupid.
No,
We get a
I
montage.
could see them not doing that and it working by going to younger Marcus before they go.
I
to the
don't give a fuck about no younger
I could see them doing
Marcus.
something.
I don't want that.
do.
They're gonna
That's what
start
they
with
do.
that.
I don't want that. Who gives a crap?
Can I tell you honestly what would make me most excited is the movie starts and instead of getting a prison Marcus or anything like that, we get an old man Marcus and they're not even doing the original trilogy for a story. And
No,
they're going
I don't
to
want that
whatever else they
either.
want.
This is how the
I
film
don't want-
starts. Crash.
Can I be honest?
Crash, listen to me. This is how it starts.
Getting
Fade,
spicy.
fade to black. Thumbs up. Jack, rip that door. Wah,
I don't want
yeah.
that either.
I want that, Crash. I want
No,
that.
I
Why
don't
not?
want like look, a 1-to-1 trying to remake a Gears of War story at all.
I never
think it's
said
gonna be
1-to-1.
bad for Netflix.
Brother, I've lived through this, man. I've been here. They've ruined my franchise already, Crash. I heard they're trying to
Okay,
reboot
first
it
of all-
again, fam. Did you hear
First
this?
of all, can we not say that they ruined the franchise? There were a series of movies that came out before Netflix touched it that ruined the franchise. So we're really not going to go there because by comparative means for Resident Evil, I'm pretty sure what Netflix did was pretty tight for Resident Evil.
Okay. Fine. I'll give you it. I'll give you it. But I'm just
Fix
letting you
hates
know.
Resident Evil.
No, I hate anybody that doesn't stick to the source material at close. Because because yes, I do.
You
can't
just
tell
spent
me,
half
you
an hour
can't tell
moaning
me.
about why Resident Evil 4 Remake
Yeah,
stuck too
we're not
closely to
doing
the source
this.
material.
We're not doing
That's
this
different. That's a game. This is a
No,
film. It's
it's-
different. It's different.
It's goalposts that are keep on moving.
Can we,
different
okay,
places.
do we all
That's
do we
not
all
how-
agree this film is going to foul if it doesn't have Dave Bautista?
I think it has
Depends
to
what they
update.
do.
The audience
but
are going
I
to
think
push
it
against it
fails.
so bad.
Look,
It has
can
to.
I be 100% honest? Whenever places want to make movies and stuff for these universes, don't readapt the story. Live in that universe and tell its own story in that universe. That way you don't have to stick to a script and people won't get mad because people want to be in that universe.
I disagree.
If Halo came out and Halo was about Spartans and about the world outside of Master Chief, I think people would have enjoyed it. I think the same thing could be for this Gears of War movie if it was about a different part of the world. I think it would be dope.
Last of Us did it.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's beloved, right? Everybody loves it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but
they nailed it.
Last of Us is easy to translate.
That's true.
Last
I
of
mean,
Us,
Last of Us
the
is a game
narrative
that-
for Last of Us,
Yes.
the story existed in a
You're
book
right.
before it did in the game. It's
Crash,
an easy
Crash.
translation.
Rip that door, fam. That's all we need. All we need is Jack. Rip that door.
True.
All we need, brother. All we need.
Who do
is...
you cast as Dom then? If Batista's Phoenix, who you casting as Dom?
Dom. It needs to be a beefy guy, but it needs to be. I think he needs to be a little bit funnier, Dom, in the film. Because you need to make him
You got beard, haven't you? The beard.
But no, you
Beards are
can't.
funny.
funnier. I said funnier. I didn't say
No,
funny.
no.
Like I'm talking.
You see, Fix. You
The
don't know
Rock.
how you say,
The
oh,
Rock
you
is
gotta
dumb.
be- You gotta,
No,
you gotta
you
be
can't put Rock in
super,
stuff.
super like what the other property was, what it was. You gotta exist to it. Now you want Dom to be funny. You want to make him a clown.
Funnier.
Put on some
I
makeup.
said funnier.
Put on a red nose. What do you want? Fix?
It's probably a bit too on the nose, but John Cena maybe.
Ooh,
Actually, no,
I
he
don't
could
hate
actually
that.
maybe a good
I don't
beard.
hate that. No.
I
Not
don't want John
bad.
Cena in this movie at all.
I don't hate it. I didn't say I didn't want it. I didn't say I wanted it. I said I don't hate it.
I
Felt
don't
like you
want
wanted
it.
it,
Like
but-
tone
What
wise,
about
with
Channing
John Cena in
Tatum?
this movie, I don't think.
Who?
Channing Tatum.
Tatum could work.
I don't hate Channing Tatum either.
Dom's Latina though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem with Dom. Not the problem with the character.
I was gonna
The problem with
say,
these people.
Fit Crash.
The
You talking
problem
about
with
us
these
getting
people are
cancelled?
casting.
That's the problem with that game. That's the
Ah.
problem with that
That's
character.
white actors.
Damn,
That's
Crash.
dumb.
Damn,
That's what I was
Crash.
saying. I wasn't saying.
Damn, Crash.
That's not what I was saying.
Damn.
We got clips for
Wow,
days out of
I
this
can't
pod.
believe he
We
did
got
that.
clips for
That's
days.
not what I
out
was
of this.
saying.
Episode 400. It's over, boys. It's
Last
over.
episode, guys. It was fun while it lasted.
Let's wrap up with some questions. I asked the Discord, and I forgot to tweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I only asked the Discord for their favorite memories from the podcast, and we got a few that came in. Remember, you can email in my Xbox podcast@gmail.com, or you can write to us on Discord or on Twitter #MXAM. I think my favorite memory has been, and it's not really a moment as such, but watching the show grow. Wasn't here from the start, but been listening from about episode 150 or so, I think. And to watch all the great hosts who have been there over the past few years to listen to the show as a free piece, it's just all around great to see and be a part of. From Eldozo. Thank you, Eldozo. I do appreciate it. 150 is still pretty early, to be honest with you. When you look at it from
for sure.
from the ground up, yeah, like it's still pretty early. 150 is nuts.
That means he's been listening for about 5 years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Was also in the chat earlier.
Yeah,
watching live.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you. No, on the real though, like sometimes we do just talk a bunch of bollocks, like and I think surely
those are the best episodes.
I agree. I do agree with you. Like today, to be honest with you, talking about Resident Evil when we really for way too long and just a bunch of bullshit. Next up, sorry, I can't state a specific moment, but I enjoy the chemistry between the hosts and the full and clear enjoyment that is given into discussions about games. From Ken Doyle 659. Thank you, Ken. We gotta be honest with you. There ain't no clear discussions though. I'll make that very clear. Yeah, enjoyment.
That's true.
Enjoyment.
There's always a clear discussion.
I like arguing with Crash. Right? It might be my see, I knew that was coming. I like arguing with Crash, I'll be honest with you. I don't think people realize, like, me and Crash agree on a lot more than we realize, but we argue on the podcast just to make more fun content, to be honest with you. And Crash sucks. I hate him. Next up, this is from Riot, and they say, I think my favorite moment as a listener was having my 5-star iTunes review read on air about a year or so ago, and hearing all three hosts say how much they appreciated it, how much my comments meant to them. I've never had anything like that happen before, but it was a really cool moment, and I don't think I'll forget it. I also get a huge kick out of it when episodes get tackled on the show. It probably sounds silly, but getting that direct level of interaction and engagement is what makes Xbox Me special, because you don't get that on other bigger podcasts. You sound we small? How fucking dare you? Bigger podcasts out there. I really love this little community, and I'm glad I found my way here. Also, I really have to call out the numerous NFT discussions over the last year or so. Those were entertaining and interesting to listen to, lol. But I have a question for the hosts. What's been your favourite moments on the podcast over the last 400 episodes you've done? Thank you very much, Rye. We do appreciate it. Honestly, to be honest with you, that's always been the crux of what I do across all of what I do. I've never strived to try and be the biggest person on God's given earth. I actually think it would be terrifying to have 30,000 people, especially live stream wise, like in a chat. I like how engaged we are. I like how small we are. I like the fact we know who's writing in. I like the fact that we have a personal connection with certain people. That's something that I want to keep building on. And I know we said it at the start of the year, and we're 3 months in, almost 4, and we haven't delivered. There's no lie there. We haven't delivered the way I wanted us to yet. I'll be honest, as you get older, things just become time is just such a precious commodity that I didn't realize early on in this world. And even getting together and doing this, is some of the getting into doing this is some of my favorite moments of doing it. Beginning, like, before it starts, I fucking hate it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Gotta do this, like. But as soon as we sit down and talk and we hear the audience, and it's magic. It really is magic. I love doing it. My favorite moment on the podcast, is when I forgot to edit out Ross Miller disciplining his son. So he's shouting at his son thinking he muted during the podcast, and he sends me over his recording, and I just put that audio in. So if you go back and listen to, I don't know what episode, but there's an episode where Ross is just like, you better be good, because I just totally forgot to edit it out. There's that. I do miss having other people on. I love the fact that we brought Matt in. Like, bringing Matt on to the podcast was the best thing we ever did, to be honest with you. Matt is an absolute dope, and he's an idiot, and he's very much missed when he's not here, because he just comes out with some of the dumbest stuff you ever know to man. But he's also very intelligent, and he keeps us very honest on certain things as well.
He just went really hard on me, and then he went, he's also really intelligent, and Crash went,
I was trying to interject to give a point. Like,
okay.
Some of the stuff Matt says, it's like very out there, but it's very good bouncing points for conversations to occur. That's what my interruption was.
But do you know what makes me laugh the most though? Is he doesn't realize they're out there. He thinks he's being genuine sometimes. And
give me an example, you
brother.
You know the problem when you ask for an example when like almost 90% of what you say is an example. It's like my mind just runs through too many.
What the fuck?
I just love the fact that we're so unprofessional. To be honest with you, like, we are, some weeks you might get a bad audio week, some weeks you might, and I get that can be frustrating, I understand, but it's three schmucks from all different parts of the world coming together and podcasting. All we need is a fucking producer, and this podcast could actually do something. But for now, we'll keep having our 500 listeners a week, and I keep appreciating them, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And to be fair, like that, like, I get what you're saying, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, we are very, very small. But you imagine if we did this in a room with 500 people every week.
Nuts.
Like, that's fucking wild. Yeah. And then, you know, the same... maybe like 30 people were then like talking about the episode after in the Discord and hanging around and then asking questions for the next week. And like, I get that those metrics seem off, right? But like the fact that we have people emailing in every week and asking questions and having those discussions in the Discord that are super well educated and well thought out, and like, oh yeah, but if you thought about it like this, and it's like their own mini podcast in there, right? Like the fact that we have any level of community like that is absolutely wild. And we appreciate the hell out of it. We really do.
Yeah, the amount of times we get tagged and people asking for like podcasts to listen to, and my Xbox and me gets tagged, it's always like, oh wow, I can't believe that it happened again.
Yeah.
You know? I just, the fact that we have anybody come back and listen to this podcast after listening for a week, let alone literally 8 years. 8 years. Yeah. Another moment of mine is I remember when Little Smitty sent a tweet to me of him on holiday with his wife listening to like episode 21 or something like that, and I was like, fuck. Like there's like, all jokes aside, there's a reason why this has been going for nearly 8 years, you know? Like I know as much as people like listening to us talk about video games. They like it a lot. They like us talking about Xbox. I'm sure they would listen to it if it wasn't just Xbox, but Xbox is the thing that we've decided to brand it as. I've generally thought about like, maybe we just change it to something else that isn't Xbox related. I've thought about that many times just because we all play on different systems. I just don't think it would hit the same. I feel like having that direct, we talk about Xbox here, is what makes us a little bit more special as well. Like, all jokes. I think like. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. You go. You go.
All jokes aside, we are one of with the numbers even that we have. We're one of the biggest Xbox UK based podcasts. Sorry, Chris, I know you're not in the UK, but which is crazy to me.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is like the fact that it is an Xbox show forces us all to be a little bit more of an authority on Xbox. So when the ZeniMax conversation happens or whatever, we have more context than we would have if every week we were just chatting more generally about gaming.
Yeah.
Because I think like you were saying earlier, Crash, like about bouncing ideas off each other or bouncing talking points off each other, we all become more informed that way about that specific thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that gives us a bit of an edge in the Xbox world than it does in the PlayStation world, than it does in the PC world or anything else. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's also easy to talk about Xbox when they got nothing.
Nothing going on.
Well, I mean, but that's the fascinating thing. Like, My Xbox and Me is one of the only podcasts that has gone through the good, the bad, and the
ugly.
downright ugly. Like, oh my God. Like, Yeah, like you went through the ringer, man. I jumped in the fucking heydays. You know what I mean? The Game Pass was
you don't
kicking off
understand, guys. You don't understand. That Xbox One launch, oh, that was tough. Oh, that was tough, let me tell you. Next question comes from a Wild Army. He says, some of my favorite My Xbox and Me moments have to be the pizza bets. Kresh and Matt hosting when Fix went to Texas. Hey, motherfuckers, I was on that episode. The community surprise that we done for Fix. Oh, that's got to be up there. We'll talk about that in a sec. I don't think it was a part of My Xbox and Me, but the US versus the UK showdown between Fix and Kresh.
Not My Xbox and Me.
No, it wasn't, but that was fucking awesome. All the watch-alongs
awesome.
for E3 gaming stuff, and just being able to listen to y'all when I'm having a rough day. It's wonderful to be able to just toss on a podcast last week or last year and get a smile from all the banter between friends. Thanks, Yarmy.
That's lush.
There's a lot of content I want to start doing with us. It's just planning it out that is so fucking hard. Like, I don't think I realize how much spare time I used to have compared to what I have now. Like, it's crazy. And you'd think I'd have more, but like, it just changed. It really did change. I feel like, honestly, we're gonna have to move to Twitch. I'm just more comfortable on Twitch as a platform. That I feel like it's gotten to a point now where I'm like, okay, obviously we're still going to do the YouTube show. There's still going to be stuff on YouTube, but I feel like you would get more live streams and more content like that if we were on Twitch.
Sure.
You don't want to go to Kick?
I know you're joking, but it ain't the worst idea. I know you're joking.
Idea.
I know
It's
you're
a horrible
joking. It
idea.
ain't the worst idea.
It's a horrible idea.
95% revenue, though? We might be able to afford Nether.
Yeah, but how many? This is no, this is not a podcast. This is not a conversation for right now.
Yarmy, thank you. You've been there for a long time, bro. Some of my favorite. I think obviously I didn't mention that one,
favorites.
but no. I wasn't gonna say that. If I pick a favorite, it's Kevin Tarney, obviously.
Wow.
No, I think the Xbox community thing was fucking crazy, bro. Like that video's out there on this channel, and like seeing that and like the way you all come together and did that was nuts. But yeah, I would very much love to do the whole UK versus, because that was so fun, because it was just like Americans were rooting for Kresh, UK were rooting for us, and we just played a bunch of fucking dumb games that we should never have been playing. I think my problem is now, and Matt will definitely attest this because of the D&D stuff, is I want to do things and it has to be super level of polish, and it has to be, and instead I should just fucking do it. And then we can build on it if it's a good idea. But unfortunately, I am, because of my content brain and I watch a lot of content, I go, well, if it's not as good as that, why would I bother? Where really the fun of my Xbox and Me is we're a bit clunky or a bit stupid, and we just sort of make it happen. So I'll try and get better about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like my philosophy is always like make the next thing better than the last, and like know that like it's like what you said about writing a script or doing whatever creative thing you want to do next. Like it's gonna be rough when you start. I'm sure roleplay was right. Like if you went back and watched your first roleplay stream now, you'd be cringing, you know. And so yeah, sometimes you just gotta make that leap. But yeah, it's all time and money. And time is money. It's the
time. It's not even the money,
time.
bro. Honestly, like I would invest every penny into ideas that I have.
Of course you would, but what I mean is
the time part.
But any time that you're doing X, Y, Z, whatever else, you could have been role playing, you could have been writing music, you could have been doing all those things, and so it's always difficult to justify. Yeah,
100%. Last one, my favorite My Xbox and Me moment has to be the live reactions and the Let's Plays. And also adding Matt in as a third chair. I feel he has really improved the podcast, as you guys always have some awesome yet different takes on topics. And also, being a part of the Discord is awesome. There are some really cool, amazing people in there who have cool gaming opinions from top left.
Spot on. What are these different opinions? Is it The Village is a good game? Is that the main one?
Matt, you say things, bro.
You just come out you come out with an angle and a viewpoint on a conversation
that makes no sense.
I wouldn't have thought of. You're a very unique mind, Matt. In a very
next time it happens, just say This is one of those, Matt. This is one of those times because I need to flag it in my own head.
No,
Not that I'm
because it
gonna
would
stop.
change who
It
you
won't
are.
be-
No,
Yeah.
no.
Stop. I just needed some examples.
No, you will though. Like you will consciously go, "Oh, this is one of those moments." Oh no, no, I'm not telling you. Because it's
Time
what
your thought
makes you
comes up,
you.
you'll be like, nope, not doing this.
It's what,
I want to
bro.
have normal thoughts.
It's when Matt. It's literally when you go like, we'll be talking about something. You go, yeah, but you know, and you just like go off on one. You're like, oh man, this is Matt. This is prime Matt right there.
I'll take it.
Oh, we love you, Matt. We love you. We love you too,
I love you
Chris,
too.
but not as
I love
much
you
as
too.
we love Matt. You know. Alright,
Wow.
let's plug.
I love Crash more than me.
Wait.
Oh, go on, please.
Origin Cookie Man put out a comment in Discord. Why didn't you add that one?
Did I miss it? I must have just missed it.
Yeah.
Go on, hit me.
Well, it's a meme, so we can't really add it. I just thought it was a funny meme. So
Oh, okay, talk to me. What is it? What's the meme?
You know the one where it's go into Discord. I can't explain it. Maybe one of you guys.
Oh, this
can
is such
explain
good
it.
content for the audio podcast.
Yeah,
this-
ruined it.
I don't know if I
just let
don't
it
know if
end.
I can, bro. I don't know if I can. One sec. Let me see if it'll open.
Minecraft has a TikTok? Is that what it is?
No. It's in the podcast questions.
Oh, hold on.
Origin Cookie Man's. He says also wanted to add the episodes that have inspired me.
Oh, okay,
Just
yeah.
one of the memes are all my
Oh, okay.
favorites.
So it says, Chris, you downloaded Persona? Of course I downloaded Persona. Wait. Are you assuming I won't? I'm just asking the questions! Because I absolutely will antagonize you.
Not as funny if you don't see me.
I'm just the host. No. I get. Yeah, you go look it in the
I was
Discord.
attempting to describe the meme.
No,
and I couldn't describe
yeah.
it.
So it's a guy getting a chair thrown at him. Also, Ant added one here, which was my favorite moment is when you guys thought The Blind Side was a Silver Lining playbook because it had wood playbook. What the fuck does that mean?
I thought Blindside was Silver Lining Playbook because I haven't watched either of those movies, and I know Silver Lining Playbook had to do with football.
Oh,
So there you go.
fuck you, Ant.
I have no clue. I never watched it.
I have watched it, but it's
Oh.
that forgettable of a film.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's plug. Get ourselves out of here. Kresh, something that isn't my Xbox and me related, can you please plug?
Twitch.tv/MCFixer.
Yeah.
You have some really good roleplay.
Okay.
You said not Xbox. You said
Matt.
not my Xbox and me related.
Yeah, how it's episode 400 and you're asking us not to plug something my
Guys,
me
the
related?
plug section is meant to be something that you guys are doing. Something that I don't know why
It
you've
feels
only just.
egotistical. Can I be honest? It feels egotistical, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but that's the whole point is
Yeah,
the
it
audience
feels
to go. So why
Yeah,
don't
but
we
I don't
change the plug section where it's like we plug each other from now on?
Nah, it still feels egotistical.
I'm
All
just.
right, let's do that.
Xbox and
MC
me.
Fixer released a song yesterday.
I
Day
did
before
yesterday, day before.
yesterday. Go check it out.
It's called Ego.
Which we all know it. MC Fixer has no ego.
Never. Fix.
Yeah, go follow Kresh at Kreshnik Plays. I really want us all to convince him to either come back to streaming on his own channel, and if he's not willing to do that, consistently, at least when me and him play games, he'll stream on the My Xbox and Me Twitch channel.
I streamed like a couple weeks ago.
No, but I'm being serious. Like, I miss you streaming, and maybe you don't like it, and that's why you don't want to do it. But I generally do miss you streaming. Like, I know that I'm role playing, but I would 100% come off role play if you were like, "Yo, I'm streaming on the My Xbox and Me channel, and we're gonna play fucking." I don't know, Crash Bash. Like I would jump on that
yeah.
shit.
Fuck yeah. Crash
Like,
Bash on
I
PlayStation
don't know
2.
what I have to do to get you to back streaming. I don't know if the audience needs to be there or something like that. But I miss you streaming. I miss Matt streaming as well.
Yeah.
Matt, when's the last time you streamed?
It would have been the end of Elden Ring, I think.
I streamed more recently with Matt. This conversation.
100%. Oh, yeah, no, 100%. You streamed more recently than me. But what I would say is when Elden Ring DLC hits, gotta make
So now I start streaming again.
Well, no, I have to get back in there. I finished Elden Ring on stream for my Xbox and me. Like, I need to.
Did you play the whole? No, you didn't.
Not
play
the whole game.
No,
though,
I was
but
playing in between, but I played for I don't know. It was probably. I
10,
mean, there's
10?
probably 8,
10?
8,
10
8
hours?
10 streams
Yeah.
on that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and they were more than an hour a piece. So yeah, long.
I would like to see us get into streaming more. And
But then,
go on.
well, no, we need to seriously talk about this switch to Twitch, as they say. Then
I think
if
we
we're doing
should.
it.
I generally think we should. And then if Twitch ends up dying, we just switch to YouTube back. Like just YouTube's in like even this podcast right now. I think we would do the podcast live every week if it was on Twitch. Like no paywall, no nothing, just to help build it up.
Twitch is also just easier to set up and interact with. There's a lot less steps. You don't have to do a thumbnail. Like if we do live streams on YouTube, you have to set up a thumbnail. You have to set it up beforehand. You don't just sort of go live with it. It's a lot of other.
Yeah, there is also definitely an issue which currently experiencing right now, which is that we are live right now on YouTube. There is people in the chat, and it's just not updating for me.
Because YouTube sucks.
Like Stead's in there. Somebody else was in here earlier, and I could see their messages.
Oh,
and now their messages are gone.
I banned that person. He pretends to be Mr. Beast.
Oh, cool. Fun. But yeah, Cookie Man's in here. BT
I feel like we gotta move to Twitch.
Yeah, let's move to Twitch. Let's also end the show. Episode 400.
I haven't plugged yet.
Plug. Get yourself out of here.
Thank you all for watching, guys. I appreciate it. This is episode 400. Thank you all for watching. We're going to go play Halo with the boys, which you can watch right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme. Until next time, we'll love you. Leave you. See you later. Good boys.
Goodbye.
Don't go anywhere, anybody, all right? Like, that's the podcast.
Ooh, that was a fun one, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Peace out. What's wrong?
Why does my recording say we were recording for 2 hours and 48 minutes?
We were not.
An hour and 48.
1 hour 48, yeah. 12:30ish we went live.
Guys,
Yeah.
okay, well, Zencaster has just said you have no minutes remaining, so you can't download this episode. Shout out to Zencaster, you piece of shit.
How does that work?
I know.
But you didn't just record on Zenny, right? Zenny's the backup.
Zenny's the backup.
So if I told you I forgot to hit the record button on OBS, would you believe me?
Oh, we got the
live stream VOD. We've got it. Yeah. It's fine. We'll make it work.
So you need to just pull it out of the live stream VOD now.
Yes. Which is going to be
that-
long.
is that easy?
Which is going to be long. No, I'll do
No,
it.
that's
It's because it's only going to be long because we're about to play Halo. So we've got two options. We could stop the stream, re-go live just with the Halo stuff.
We could do.
You know, if this was Twitch, that wouldn't be a
That
problem.
wouldn't be a problem if it was Twitch, but because it's fucking exactly
You have
correct.
to stop it. You have to set up a whole new one.
Yep, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you. I
it's
mean,
up to
you're
you
going to be
guys,
doing
man.
it, Fix, so it's up to you.
Well, I think we end it and start a new one. I feel like it would be easier for the podcast.
I'm
So
pretty
put it
sure
out,
if
make sure you get the audio out.
but the problem is we probably need a new thumbnail.
I could do nothing now.
Can
I'll just
you?
replace.
Yeah,
If I
replace
move people
Crash.
around.
Replace Crash's face because his thumbnail face was hideous.
It
And
was bad. I told you guys it was bad.
put Halo in the middle and just put my Xbox and me.
All right,
Episode 400 celebrations. All right, chat. How are you all? I hope everyone's well. I wake up hella early for work. This is why Crash always looks tired. Yeah, Crash is knackered. I'm not gonna lie to you. Crash, poor Crash. I feel bad for Crash. Crash, your audio as well lately sounds like a mad airy.
What do you mean by airy?
No, it's fine now, but it
Sounds
was.
good to me.
Do you not get like a? It sounds like a train sometimes when he talks.
A train?
No.
Oh, maybe it's just me. Don't worry about it. Maybe it's just me. Just use the same thumbnail? No, we can't do that, Stead. We can't do that. On a serious note, for people who are here, because the people that are here right now, you're probably the most hardcore people. What do you think of the idea of moving to Twitch? And like, the only problem with Twitch is the ads, bro. Twitch's ads are just really bad, but it would allow us to probably use any money made from that channel to pay an editor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think ever since we've talked about doing Twitch, I've always said that would probably be the better avenue for live stream. I just don't know if it would make sense.
Well, the
for
thing
my
I think
Xbox team,
the problem with Twitch is we then whoever does the live stream then needs to be in charge of like, all right, you need to pull that VOD down and then put it onto YouTube. Or, like I say, if we make enough money from subs, it doesn't gonna be loads of money, but just enough, we reinvest that money directly into paying an editor that can just handle it. It's like, okay, here's the time codes of start, finish, and make a let's play.
Yeah.
Honestly, bar the ads, I don't care. Don't care. It makes no real difference to me. But Twitch ads can be awful. I do like Rewind, except on YouTube. Got you. Yeah, just live streaming games on YouTube is just shocking. There's just no, like, we talk about Twitch's discoverability problem. Live-wise, YouTube is awful. Afterwards, this video will get VODs, like, and it will get more views. But live-wise, like, jeez. If we went live on Twitch right now, I reckon we'd average more than, not that I'm against the people that are here, but I reckon we'd average more than 9.
Yeah.
But, and that way as well, if someone does do it, I could raid into the My Xbox and Me channel after my roleplay stuff, and then I could jump on the My Xbox and Me channel if someone else is live, and just loads of stuff that I feel like we could start doing. Reactions again over on Twitch do way better, and then having an editor cut them out and throw them onto.
But there's also the benefit of stuff when you do it on Twitch, it doesn't exist afterwards to a degree. So like if you want to get up and react to something that might not be like that high noteworthy, where it's like if you do it on YouTube, it's like, oh, that's not going to get any traction after the live stream.
Yeah. At
least for me, that becomes a part of the conversation. With Twitch, it's like, no, I'm going to get up and I'm going to react to that thing I want to react to. And if another piece of content can get made out of that, that's really dope.
Yeah.
If not, it's like, it's fine because it's Twitch. That's how Twitch works.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess we'll figure. Yeah, we gotta figure it out. I mean, I'd also love to bring in more people that would be interested in doing more stuff. But it's just finding the right people, man. Finding the right people. I feel like right now we have a really good crux.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think it's just sort of nailing what we're doing right now first, and getting that on a roll. Matt is very invested right now into that screen.
No, he's doing the thumbnail, so we'll allow him. Yeah, we'll play a couple of hours of Halo, by the way, guys. I guess you guys have wanted that for a while, so yes.
We could always do whatchamacallit?
What?
A Fortnite.
Hey, we'll figure it out. That's what I'm saying. We'll figure it out. Whatever.
Yeah, if we boot up Fortnite, you know I'm buying Leon and Claire as well. So
yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, we're gonna stop this live stream. We're gonna go back live in literally 2 seconds. Just give us a second because we have to do a whole thing in the back end on YouTube. So just bear with us. We'll be right back in a second. Goodbye.